So that is, I have the rules for that right here. When and if you want to get started on that, but the
Mac's
two of you
idea
would do better. Yeah, go ahead.
of handling this as a group, is that feasible with the rules?
Yes, I think it is. We've had the two of I've let the two of you do telekinesis together before, and working in concert with each other. I don't see any reason not to just add the victories to the two rolls. I mean, it seems very reasonable.
But is it only me and Helm, or can some more people help? Because I'm not, because I only have as a prior, so I can only get one victory.
Nathan,
right?
you're telekinetic too, correct?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And it's better if
Yeah.
Mac doesn't
That's
help.
right.
I
It
think.
wasn't Mac. I meant Nathan, actually. Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Right.
Oh, okay, I'm supposed to do this. I can help with one.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody can help. And
No, if he's going to do like the gun with the net gun, he's going to go against us.
Right.
Don't
don't
help, please.
worry.
Yeah, you
You
don't
are
want
a mechanic.
you don't want any failures. Yeah. Okay.
You are a mechanic. If the parts come down, if it comes down in parts, you can pick it up and put it together again. I'm sure.
Or maybe, if possible, can you take it apart somehow, like in advance? And then, it's lighter to get down.
Yeah, that's a good point. Can I make it lighter?
I mean,
I'm
take
not
away
quite
the
sure.
wheels, and so.
It has already like the whatever, I don't know how it's
That's
called.
right. The
like,
battery pack is already gone, or the data pack is already
yeah.
gone, right? But guys, why don't you tell me what you're doing? We need to get moving on this and not speculate about if that and if could and can I. By making it lighter, are you simply talking about taking pieces off? Right. Well, you'll have to be there to do that. That's not something that telekinesis is going to help you do.
That would mean climbing up there. It's probably going to take too much time.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Too much effort.
Didn't Hannah have teleport?
Yes, yes, I have.
No,
Resting.
that's how you got the piece before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, if you need some, technical knowledge in a way. So I'm completely not capable with that. So I might be taking a wrong piece.
Yeah, that's correct. You don't want to take off that part. That looks like we don't need that part, right?
Okay. Oh, the wheel was important?
That's right.
Come on, let's get that thing down in one piece.
Yeah, okay.
Because I have a prior, can I get worse successes, or can I just get a failure?
If you get a failure, then you are going to be decreasing their successes.
Yeah, but I only do it by one, right? It's not like a reverse focus where it can get worse.
That's correct, but well, this is okay. Look, right now, I'm going to move this forward. It seems to me as though this is, as we have discussed before, it's not possible at all unless you get up to the base of that cliff. Number one. So we have the technician, we have the archivist doing that. Is anybody with them?
I think, Max, it's better if you don't help, honestly.
Yeah,
But he should probably anyway be there.
My first question is about your
bodyguard.
physical presence. Where exactly are your characters? That's what my first question is.
Foot of the cliff.
Everybody.
Same.
Yeah, for
Is that correct?
everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah, except me. I can take a look at the random, or not so random, soldier, 3, 4, whatever.
Well, that's the point. He's going to want to go as well. I mean, he knows better than anybody the dangers that are there.
Well, then you can go, and I can stay nicely here and wait until you do your job.
Okay. The soldier 343900 is going to stop and think at you. You don't want to be with everyone.
Hey, I'm resting. And I'm showing like whatever,
Yeah.
whatever bruise I've gotten
Yeah,
from
right.
the fall.
Yeah, he kind of does a sort of a, that's weird. That person wants to be alone. What is that? Okay, so the four characters will be there. Then we have the roll. Okay, so telekinesis roll. The two of you will each spend a point of stun to use telekinesis at all. Helma already will have an improvement on the roll, which in this
And
case
I buy
means
myself
that,
another one.
right, which in this case means that the for each improvement it's +1 because it's a focus skill to the lower die, and then for Nathan, you don't have any intrinsic bonus, but you can get a bonus by spending more stun.
I will just spend one stun,
Okay.
so one bonus.
Okay. So 2 stun, 1 to activate
Yes.
and 1. Okay, good. All right, let's make your rolls.
Oh,
Okay.
calculate.
5 times 5, 25.
25. Okay.
You have to subtract the 5 still, so 20.
Hold on. Let's wait before we do that, okay?
24.
34. Okay, so
24.
okay.
Yep.
So to be fair, I think it is true that both of you will have the penalty for distance. So in Helma's case, if that puts you at, what was it, a 20?
At 20?
How many levels of success is that?
7, 17. How do I count successes? 7 is my focus number.
If
That's
you get
the first
above, right, 7 means
so
that you get
17
1.
is the second.
Right.
So I have 2 successes, right?
Perfect. Yes.
Finally got it.
Right. And now remember too that that telekinesis is a little bit tricky because of the kilogram issue. So if you have the number rolled, which is before the penalty, so that's 30, and you have 2 successes, then 30 goes to 60. And so that is 60 kilograms.
So before the roll, before the subtraction, I had 25. So that would mean.
Oh, right.
50.
Sorry, 50. Yeah, I'm sorry. I gave you too much. Yeah, 50 kilograms.
Then I subtract.
Don't worry about that right now. Okay.
Okay. So we are at 50
I'm taking
kilograms.
this in steps. I'm calculating it without the subtraction for the weight, and I'm calculating it with the subtraction for the movement.
Okay.
It seems to me like the power would not be affected.
I see.
Right. And so Nathan, you had something like I forget what you rolled.
24.
So unfortunately, that was to a 19. But that is still, I think, 2 levels of success, correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So that's not bad either. So 24 times 2 for you is 48 kilograms. So that puts you at roughly, just under 100 kilograms for actually moving the thing. Now, the rules are very picky for some reason. The author cared very greatly about meters and stuff like that for telekinesis, meters and kilograms. And so, therefore, for every 2 seconds spent concentrating on the object, I see. Okay, what's going to happen is, now this is a fair number of meters down. For every meter past the first 2, so it will take 2 meters, the first 2 will move it off of the ledge and into the shaft. So that's good. But from now on, the more meters you move it, the less weight you can carry.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to calculate it with a pencil right here in their little equation because that's annoying. What I am going to say is that it will come to a point about halfway down when you can no longer sustain the weight. And it's going to slide and tumble. I mean, remember, it's not a straight up and down cliff, remember? It's more of a natural spill. It's still very steep, but it's not like a straight up and down. So that means that when you lose control of it, it will hit the slope and start to tumble down.
Yeah.
Rather than, now the good news is that it will have no starting momentum. When you can feel it, when you can feel yourselves unable to sustain it anymore, you can more or less set it down. And then that way, therefore, it doesn't already have any momentum, to cause it to tumble very fast immediately. So you're kind of, hoping that it doesn't get shattered by the time it gets to the bottom. But on the other hand, it's not like you dropped it from the original height either. So, good enough?
Sure.
Yeah, that means that, the two of you are struggling, and, it clearly has less and less and less control, and eventually you're trying to sustain it as long as you can. And then while there's still perhaps 10 meters to go is when you can no longer sustain the weight, and then you put it against the slope, and it starts to slide down, and by the time it gets to the bottom, it's tumbling. It didn't start right away to tumble, but by the time it hits the bottom, it is no longer in a pretty upright position. And lands with a little more impact, than makes any of you happy, along with a fair amount of gravel and, other dirt. So, but it definitely did not get dropped from the full height and shatter on the surface at all. That did not happen. There was now it's a technician's problem. Right. So there you go. But you have it now. I'm assuming that Max, you and 343900 are keeping an eye, are using lights and are keeping a lookout while all this is happening.
Probably communicating to each
Yeah.
other, and I
Right.
guess not to disturb the others. We are just focusing on ourselves and looking around.
Excellent. So at this point, there is no activity. At this point, there is no. As I say, the dingoes have decided that they would rather go eat big fat mutant snails instead of whatever in the world you are, and so they have not yet decided to come back and reinvestigate.
Our food source has learned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask him how did the hive react to him? How it seems like they were very hostile to him, and I want to hear about his experience if he wants to talk about it.
Sure. What is confusing for him is that he's still convinced that there has been some sort of well, how am I going to put it? This is very hard for him. Okay. His experience was to try to defeat the enemies of the hive that he perceived. But his other experience was to his other experience was to protect you, and especially once that he realized that he knew all of your numbers, and therefore you would be hive members. So he's almost going into wondering whether he's almost wondering whether, this is the only hive. Maybe there's a huge enemy now. So he's starting to think of the hive as an enemy, as some sort of. It's very hard for him to. He has not been able to process the idea that there now could be a breakaway hive. That isn't working. So at the moment he's settling into, well, okay, I'm the soldier. Who's threatening the hive? I'll kill it. Staying kind of in the comfort zone there.
He needs a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not gonna asking any more questions than that, and then I will try go for the opening and see if something can come through there or something. I'll be mostly in the opening, but I'll also see so I can hear what the others are doing till the crash happens.
Yeah. So, all right. So you do manage to retrieve the vehicle with no terrible. Sorry. You manage to retrieve the vehicle with no terrible disaster. What do you do now? It will probably need some maintenance.
I will fix it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So clearly if everything is out of alignment and there's dirt everywhere and but the fundamental pieces, I mean, given the situation, there's no reason to think that any piece is genuinely broken. But in order to run properly and not have some terrible problem that will be permanent, it needs its, axles and things have to be realigned and certain connections and things have to be cleaned.
Okay.
Clearly somebody mistreated this badly.
Mechanics roll, right?
Yes.
This is a failure.
No.
One failure.
Okay.
I broke it.
Oh no. Well, it doesn't seem to be repairable at this. You're not able to do it. You just fixed like a completely unfamiliar, got the engines of a completely unfamiliar jet. Operating, but this defeats you.
It's not my fault. It was just in a too bad shape.
Right.
It could not be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It was too broken.
So it will function, but it's got a limited functional life now. If you continue to use it for too long, it will probably hit the limits of its functions. But right now, it will work. It's going to make strange little squeaky noises, like a grocery store cart. When you get the one with the bad wheel, right?
Okay, so we put Elma in the supermarket cart. This is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I think it's more important that I get my. I will try to walk as far and as good as I can because I want as much memory with me.
Right.
Wherever I go by now, as I can possible carry.
Okay.
I will try to transfer everything from the whatever it is
Right.
to my external memory and put that on the card.
Mm-hmm. And that's
as well as everything else we may want to take with us from this thing. Where the mechanic was.
Right. I have the image of you saying, "Wait, let me get some things," and all of this, cannibalized data is coming out with you.
Yes.
So okay, and so you're planning on using the vehicle more for carrying that as a physical.
As far as I can do it, I will try to.
Well,
to
as
keep
I say,
it
there
out
are some survival equipment and things like that on the ship. So therefore, on the little craft. So therefore, it's quite reasonable to find carrying packs and duffels and things like that. So
As long as the problem that I slow everybody else down, I think it will be better.
right.